Hi everyone. This was a walk around my office, and again we see that church, and here's the level. Here's the church. I found this picture in Wikipedia. It was like beginning of 20th century, and here's how it was looking in 1895, and here what it looks right now. We see those Tesla domes were demolished and the tower was demolished. So next I'm showing the level of how deep is inside interior rooms. So it's like half man size. Here we have like some chemtrails in Moscow, and I'm picturing this. It's pretty funny because we have them not as much as you do, but still it's very obvious. For example, here we see one airplane is not leaving any chemtrail. On the left we see the one that's making chemtrails right now, and on the right we see the one the line of what it's going to be after the plane leaves. So we see this unearthed house, one side of it in fact, and here we see the white wall, so-called white wall. It was found when this place was rebuilt. So if the wall was so low under the ground, that makes sense about everything else, because nobody would have done a wall in the ditch or whatever we call it. And this building is probably pre-Tartarian building because it has all those underground floors. We can see the windows. It's quite near this building. Also on the other side we see the same thing, and on this side also on the left we see the same thing. I might be going inside the building pretty soon because the restaurant is opening it, and I might be picturing some interior. And this is this wall. It's called the White Wall. It was surrounding Moscow, and actually it's a pretty famous wall because Moscow was called a white stone city, so it's probably how it looked. But we can see it's right now fixed with these fake stones that they added to for this construction to look more likely like a wall. And here we have some more buried windows, and look what they're doing for the rain not to drop when it's flowing on the street. Whatever they do, and they just try to fix it every time they make a renovation of the house. And we'll see some more examples of renovation, current renovation, what people trying to do to fix the problems that were caused by the mud flood in 19th century. Here we see this church. It's not very significant, but the windows on the opposite side are way more significant. So the building is probably older than the church. And this is another church, and as you can see on the right we have elevation. Everything is rising up to right, and on the right we see the signs of the mud flood because church was pretty much excavated from the right side, and we can see a little ditch here right now, which is locked with this little masonry wall, brick wall on the right, which holds all this ground to the right. As we see, the level of rising is pretty big. And also some buried windows. Pretty much this third floor building is right on the opposite side of this church. walked around it to see and show that this side is not excavated, and it was not. So they probably kept it buried from this side. It's pretty much the example of ancient power station, something like that. And here's more ridiculous windows. Probably you say they were designed to be like this, but I wouldn't agree. Whatever they're trying to do when they renovate, they try to fix the problem, but nothing helps really. Sooner or later, you have to renovate it again and again and again until you just, you know, bury this window with some bricks and stuff like this. But I guess they need those underground facilities. And here's another example. Look what they do into this earth on the right. They just enforcing it so it won't be falling to the left of this wall, which we are making when they excavated this house. And still, I'm standing right now almost on the top of the first floor, on the level of the top of the first floor, and this is pretty much the level that they're trying to hide. It's probably the end of the walk, and this is another church with those cozy little windows looking straight to the feet of the walking people. Probably they were not designed to be like this, but historians will argue and say that's a cultural layer, so nobody cleaned the streets for centuries, and then they started to do it, and here's what we see. Thanks a lot for watching. See you later, guys.